Welcome back again. Oop. Just the microphone there. So I can sit in a perfectly comfortable but probably bad way. So here we are. Playing another one. My name is Fia Gloss. This is a SCREAMCITY submission called A Figure Ink Dark by FrostySnoman. The figure on the lawn has been there 3 days. All right. Anybody who knows, let's turn this up a little bit. Anybody who knows my channel knows that I am a huge FrostySnoman fan. I like to consider myself the #1 FrostySnoman super fan. So I'm already excited. I'm taking full credit for the fact that FrostySnoman has done a game for SCREAMCITY. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Let's switch over here and take a look at the description. The figure stands silently, their eyes, insignificant specks of light in a dark void, bore deeply into yours. A game developed in 5 days, A Figure Ink Dark is a twine horror game developed solely by myself, FrostySnoman, for the April 2019 SCREAMCITY Game Jam. Set in the suburbs of Portland, cool, Pacific Northwest, already into it. The game boasts 7 different endings and 1 teaser. If you find any bugs, let me know through a comment. Okay. Anybody who has ever played a FrostySnoman game knows that we're in for way too much content in a short period of time. In the sense that, like, there's a FrostySnoman game out there that was made in like 2 hours or something ridiculous like that, and it's like a full complete experience. So 7 endings in 5 days. I mean, I'm shocked it's not 70 endings at this point. Always jealous of people who are able to pull something together in a short period of time. I really struggle to write a whole lot in a short time. Anyway, A Figure Ink Dark. Developers note this game features random events. This is interesting. If something says risk in the option, it most likely includes random events. Okay, so I'm guessing like there are certain things that you could try to do, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work out that way. Okay, let's go. Got the background. This looks very, very FrostySnoman-like. Nobody seems to talk about what happens in Oak Hills, a nice little suburb in Portland. Just want to throw it out there. I live not far from Portland. I could drive to Portland and it would be okay. But I've only been there once, so I wish I had gone there more so that I'd have more of a sense of place. Anyway, nice little suburb in Portland. Everyone else, of course, you'd always head down to the rec center after school with your friends. Everyone seems to talk about the happy things in Oak Hills. The thing on your lawn seems to be strangely absent from conversation. Rec center. Once you got used to moving here, of course. You didn't really want to move here, but it happened. You moved a lot, thanks to your mom's job. You were born over in Canada, Toronto specifically. I know a lot of people from Toronto, actually. This is weird. Before you moved here. Luckily, being a loser with no friends made leaving pretty easy on you. Hey, you know, you gotta look at the bright side. The thing on your lawn. It arrived here 3 days ago, after your parents went out for dinner. When the thing stood, it was an immense figure, standing no less than 4 heads taller than you. The exact shape of the figure was shrouded, however, due to them being wreathed in a cloak as abysmal as the darkest of inks. It just sat there, silently. It was horrible. You knew what was coming next. It explains why you're in the treehouse. And never came back. You don't remember much about that night. You were tired after soccer practice, so you know it was a Saturday. You went to sleep early. You woke up to messages on your phone Something about the moon looking beautiful. Unknown numbers. Whatever. Must have been some sort of hack. It had to be, right? Love the callbacks. Another thing that I like about FrostySnoman games, it's like all in this... I jokingly called it the FrostySnoman cinematic universe last time, but like, is it really even a joke? Hungrily. It explains why you're here in the treehouse. Okay. You're sitting by the window, huddled in thin blankets, with ragged breath and filthy clothes. The long scratch marks on your leg, hidden behind torn pants, were beginning to scab over, so we've been in the treehouse for a bit. Your eyes sting from lack of sleep. The hole in your gut grows every passing second without food. Your throat feels like a desert made of sandpaper. The icy grip of both death and sleep feel like a rapidly enclosing fist around you, squeezing shallower breaths out of you each time you exhale. Thing can't climb, you know that much. This is no way to live, but it might just be how you die. You need to leave soon. Alright, let's take a look. Empty cans, torn packaging, empty water bottles. Your eyes settle on the knife, the wallet, the slingshot. You'll need to travel light. You can only take two things. The knife, the one that sits on the window frame, glinting in the moonlight. A hint of menace on its blade. Your father gave you this. The wallet, the one that's old, fraying at the seams, and has less money in it than there are boats in the sky. Okay. And the slingshot. The one that your mother always warned you about playing with. She was always so worried about you losing an eye with it. You've got more to lose now. Okay. So... Okay. So my initial gut instinct was to take the wallet. You know, let's go with our gut. You stuff the wallet in your pocket, checking the cash inside. And then let's go slingshot, because we don't want to be close. Well, that was probably a bad idea, actually. No, but let's just go with my gut. Wallet, slingshot. Let's leave. Look at the figure. The figure stands silently, their eyes, insignificant specks of light in a dark void, bore deeply into yours. The edge of your vision pulses and trembles, a soft ebbing of the world to remind you how quickly it can fall apart. Your eyes, feeling like they're beginning to boil in your skull, drift down to the space where they stand. The grass has withered and dried. It shifts its weight every so often, and you can see the deep char it has left where it stands. You can taste the cold in your bones. Feels like looking away would be better for your health. Well, alright, let's start running. Let's do it. Your mind begins to race, just like you plan to. Could you really do this? You'll have to find out. You'll need to move quick. Most critically, you'll have to not die. There's a few ways you can leave the treehouse. You could climb down the ladder, which is slow and obvious, but safe. Or you could try something riskier. Or you could climb out the back window, leaving a pretty harsh drop below you. It'd take the thing longer to notice you were gone, but you'd almost surely get hurt. Let's create a distraction. You reach around in your pile of rubbish accumulated over the past days and pick out a number of things. Eventually you settle on something simple, a bottle cap. You place it in the slingshot, hands shaking and vision blurring every step of the way. You draw back and aim at your mailbox. You let loose a shot. The figure looks. You scamper down the ladder, setting your feet on the ground for the first time in days. Okay. So, what do we know? Okay, so the figure... I kind of feel like if we get caught by the figure, pretty much no matter what, we're screwed. It's charring the grass where it stands. I feel like we should run down the street, and here's my methodology. See how this pans out. when I click this link and get killed. If it's charring the ground around it, then running into the trees seems like a bad idea. Like it's more stealthy, but I feel like the figure already is going to know we're down. And we're going to be able to move faster and safer on the street. And it also gives us the opportunity maybe to get off of our feet, maybe into a car or something like that. And that's going to give us a better chance for survival. I also feel like if we were able to get in the treehouse and that helped us, I feel like maybe then there's more places that we're going to be able to go going on the street. Whereas in the tree line, it's kind of like if it's charring things, maybe that's a fire hazard. I don't know. I'm just going to say why I'm doing things, even though it's not going to matter. Okay, you sprint down. It seems like I didn't necessarily die. So you sprint down the street lamp lit lane. The sounds of your shoes hitting the pavement echoing down the empty street. You can feel your shoes, old and worn, rubbing against your feet. Street feet. The lights that guide your path flicker wildly and the wind grows colder. The figure is following you. Your eyes settle on two things, the bus stop and a nearby house. The lights are on. You know the bus schedule well enough to know that it should be here any minute. I think that's not how you spell schedule. You know. Keep running to the bus stop. Risk the house. Okay. Is the bus really gonna come? Let's risk the house. You make a risky decision, running to the door and slamming your hands on the door, crying out as much as you can with your scratched voice. You can feel the figure nearing closer, and you can feel your lungs slowly failing you. The door opens. Standing in the doorway is a tall figure with flesh as black as the darkest of inks. Standing in the doorway, with eyes like insignificant stars in an unforgiving night sky. You don't have time to scream. No point in trying. More of them than there are you. No point in crying. Okay. It wouldn't be me if I just totally failed it. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do some of the same stuff. We're gonna kind of like, you know, we're gonna start off. We're gonna like kind of go back and start from where we left off. Okay, keep running. But now I get it. We risk the house, so it's kind of like random whether that's gonna work or not. Which is an interesting mechanic. I'm excited to see how it plays out. It's like automatically my gut instinct as a player is to avoid risky situations in the sense that like they can't be counted on. But it's interesting. I don't know. I kind of feel like that's a cool mechanic of just like, you could try. Why not? It'll all kind of depend on how long a playthrough is, I guess. You run, it's late, but something in you keeps hoping. You arrive at the stop. You can feel the figure closing in. No bus. Like I said, let's just wait for the bus. Your heart pounds, your mind shakes, the world is spinning. Figure is close. Oh God, it's close. You see the lights. You see the bus rounding the corner. You feel the approach of the figure slow, maybe even stopping. Worst of all, you can feel the cold air on your neck, like your own ragged breaths. Just a moment longer, the bus arrives. It all falls away. You finally awaken from your nightmare, only for a moment. The door opens, and the bus driver holds out his hand for the few coins you need to escape this place. Well, pay the man. You shakily hand over the money, getting an odd look from the old man, unfortunate enough to be doing his route on this night of all nights. Nothing is said as you wander over to a seat and almost fall asleep instantly. There's other people here. The figure wouldn't follow you here, right? You can only hope. You can only breathe. For a moment, you can only sleep. fall into a deep sleep. Your nightmare is not enough to wake you until your eyes snap open. The world outside is one you should recognize. The bright lights of the city have been seared into your mind since that first evening you arrived, like some sort of fluorescent and filament-filled foretelling of things to come. I swear, FrostySnoman loves his alliterations. Some sort of fluorescent and filament-filled foretelling of things to come. It's just, I always imagine it's on accident. It's like from Alice in Wonderland or something. Just accidentally, just always alliterating. All the editing is actually to stop all the other sentences from being alliteration. This is just one that slipped through the cracks. The people, although faceless to you, looked most the same as where you come from. Just people living their lives. But tonight, the city is dark. The lights are all out. The people don't look right. Nothing here is fine. Figures dressed in black, eyes like tiny stars in ink. They're far too tall. The bus door opens. The figures enter, hungry. Nobody hears you. Okay. So, now that I have more of a understanding of the length here, I will say I think the random thing is cool because, sorry, I'm adjusting everything right now because I usually sit on my legs. My leg has fallen asleep. Okay, sorry. Ending 2, 5, 6, 7. Okay, let's go for it. So, it's kind of cool then when you have a short experience like this to, all right, we're going to take the knife, we're going to take the slingshot. So with something like this short, it's almost kind of cool to like try something different and do this random thing, just because, you know, I mean, we'll see as I do it, because I'm going to start doing the riskier stuff now. You know, I feel like in order to get the good ending, we got to be a little risky, which makes sense. But if it's kind of like the RNG is kind of rough, then it's like, oof, I'll play it all again just to try and make this, you know, getting the car thing to work or something. Anyway, you sprint past fences and hedges, panic racing in every bone in your body. In the moonlight, the trees look like wicked claws, reaching down to pull you away. The world feels wrong here. It's too late to go back. The figure is following you. You see lights ahead, breaking the dark embrace the trees have strangled you in. Car lights. You can hear something in the back of your mind, almost like a dull horn, building slowly. Let's risk the car. You approach the car, painted the color of rust. Huh. The headlights are blinding. There's nobody here. Windshield seems damaged. Could you drive? You aren't supposed to get your license for a few more months. But this isn't exactly a normal situation. Drive. Let's do it. Oh, great. You climb in, getting ready to start the car. A small yet critical thought crosses your mind. You don't have the keys. The figure nears the car, and you can finally get a good look at it. A crooked smile with pearl-white teeth. A face that seems to warp in on itself before exploding violently outwards. What you thought was clothing seems to be leathery skin, brimming with lights like the galaxy. The door is ripped open. Screams echo through the trees. Your organs fail you quickly. You never found the body. Car with no keys. Cruel. Just cruel. Okay, let's do it again. I have to say, FrostySnoman always knows how to make a good sort of good monster, you know? I like that about the stories. It's like the monster I always feel like will be something interesting and different. Let's risk going Oh, God. You descend further into the trees. Why is it so dense here? The trees never looked like they went that far. Trees are twisting, changing, scheming, plotting to stop you. The figure is following, hunting, starving, plotting what to do with you. You're running, panting, tripping, never seeing anything until you trip. You stumble and keep crawling. Your ankle is twisted, a feeling you know far too well from soccer practice. In stark contrast, the figure follows gracefully, like a feather, across the vast, never understandable void of space. The trees and roots seem to be conspiring against you, like the men who stabbed Caesar. The figure closes in. It's almost like it's speaking. That is, if you can call that the wild buzz that threatens to shatter your eardrums speaking. Secrets and prophecy and mutterings of madness and melancholic melodies, all shared with a modicum of misery. You're mesmerized. And mutterings of madness and melancholic melodies, all shared with a modicum of misery. You're mesmerized. The truth is false, child. Nothing here is real, child. When will you wake up? All right. So, I've managed to skip, to hop, skip, and jump over here. I will say, given that I'm probably failing some of these risks, it's good to know that it's always something a little different. So let's take the knife and the wallet. Let's start running. And let's climb out the window. You step out the window, a series of staggered steps and tight grips. The air blows through your hair. You look down, you fall, you plummet into the ground. God, you're lucky you're young. You stagger into the open, shaky breath chilling your heart. You know it hurt. You get ready to run, but as you do, a small problem presents itself. Start running down the street. Let's risk the house. You make a risky decision, running to the door and slamming your hands on the door, crying out as much as you can with your scratched voice. Door doesn't open. You slam your fist fruitlessly on the door, tears filling your eyes. That ferocity that fueled you slowly falls, until you can't even bring yourself to hit the door. You feel a bony grip around your arm. Use the knife. The night fills with cries, some yours, some were the figures. Didn't go well. Can't fight it. Yeah, I thought so. That's why I didn't take the knife the first time. Okay, so let's see here. Look around. Take the knife. Slingshot. Start running. Climb down the ladder. You breathe deeply, setting your plan, lack of a plan, in motion. As fast as you can, you flee down the ladder and begin to take off, but as you do, the figure, wreathed in darkness, begins to move closer, methodically, hungrily. It doesn't step upon rapid inspection, but instead seems to drag its feet, the feet that are gnarled and graying like rancid meat. The figure seems lighter than air. Okay, so... Let's take off running in the tree line. We'll risk the car. Drive. You climb in, getting ready to start the car. A small yet critical thought crosses your mind. You don't have the keys. You scavenge through the car, the presence of the figure coming ever closer. You open the glove box and your eyes fall on the object inside. You have the keys. Well, start the car. The car shudders to life, and you fumble your way to setting the thing in reverse. You speed off, leaving the figure behind, and climb through the tangling path the car seemed to have followed. You break out onto the open road and drive. Car down the road, a figure in the mirror. Never sleep again. Okay, escaped, but not unscathed. Okay, so let's see. So we take the knife. take the slingshot, leave, start running, create a distraction, take off running, and then we risk going further. Well, okay. Let's try it again. Wait, I wonder, can we just... Let's just go. Let's just be crazy. Okay. I feel like I'm risking it and it's just not panning out for me. Take the knife. Take the slingshot. I don't know why I keep taking the slingshot, but I like it. Create a distraction. Take off running. Risk going further. Okay, well, alright. Stop doing that. Okay, let's... I think I know what I need to do. Take the knife. Take the slingshot. Leave. Create a distraction. Run on the street. Keep running to the... And then run. You run alongside the road, forgetting the idea of waiting faster than you forgot what you've learned after your last science lesson. The night feels like it's growing darker. Your breath grows ever shallower until it can't. The world is shaking. Your lungs feel like collapsing. Everything goes dark. You can't keep breathing. Something has changed. Something is new. Somewhere, something is waiting for you. Interesting. This almost kind of reminds me of... This kind of reminds me of like, let's take the knife, take the slingshot, and then I think it's the house. That's my guess. Create a distraction. Oh wait, you know there's something in the tree line. Enough getting hurt, enough tragedy, enough nightmares. You head into the tree line, feeling the cuts and bruises that aren't there. You head into the tree line, ignoring the creature. You head into the tree line. There's someone you need to speak to. Sitting there. He's sitting there. He's sitting there and he knows why this is happening. He's sitting there and you're going to make him talk. The man wears a janitor's jumpsuit, heavy boots, and a stained yellow mask. The floor around him is littered with old newspapers, matchboxes, and cigarette butts. The man's voice sounds like sandpaper on broken glass. Propositions, promises, plotting. Family unlike yours. Hired troublemakers, made from those who lost people during the lunar event. He'd like you to join them. Let's do it. A family, a new one, to replace the one you lost. You accept the deal. The man smiles and hands you a mask. A deep orange. Turning it over in your hands, you set sights on lettering scratched into the inside. A new name. Matches. Thank you for playing and for finding the true ending, if that's what you can call it. Alternatively, see it as a preview for an upcoming game. All right. Cool. I'm the master of these. I'm the best. Cool game. FrostySnoman. Like I said, this like FrostySnoman cinematic universe is fun. It's like, I kind of like that it's callbacks to the other games. And the thing is that they're not so obnoxious as to take you out of it if you hadn't played them. I don't think, anyway. But I've been playing all of these since the first one, so I don't know. I actually kind of like the random thing. I'm gonna say I do. I like it. It's it's fun, and with how short it was, didn't get annoying. You know, in fact, in some ways, I almost feel like it wasn't too random. I think it was just said that it was random in order to not clue you in that what items you chose to bring with you made a difference. That's just my take. That's my hot take on it, that it's not actually random. So, yeah, I don't even necessarily have something to say of like, oh, you should change this or change that. It's kind of like, this is exactly what I kind of expected from a FrostySnoman game. And it's one of those, like, you like it or you don't, I think. Maybe. I like them. So you either like it or you're wrong. It's just cool. It's fun. It feels kind of inspired by my uncle who works at Nintendo. And I've played a lot of games. Like, I would say a lot of games by FrostySnoman feel inspired by that writer. Just like, I don't know. I feel like that's probably what maybe got FrostySnoman into making Twine horror games. Maybe not. I don't know. It's just a guess. But that's what it feels like. So yeah, this is cool. The creature is very interesting. What little we learn about it, super cool. And like, I like the mesmerizing part, or like the part where they're kind of like almost like sugar gliders or something, and they have this like folds of skin, and inside the folds of skin though, it's like some sort of mesmerizing thing. It's cool. It feels alien and weird and you know, wrong. It feels wrong, which is cool. Again, it's like, how do you improve this? I mean, you improve it in sort of the obvious ways. You have more sound or some ambiance in the background and not make it a dead silent kind of experience. You have music. You have backgrounds that maybe change contextually based on where you are. These are all things that take time to do, and so it's not always possible to do in a game jam. And those are things that make you travel a little further away from what makes a Twine game a Twine game. So it's kind of, you know, like, would that improve the experience for me? Yeah, probably. But at the same time, is it really necessary for the experience? No. And is there something to be said about the conscious decision to not have it? Absolutely. So in that regard, I you know, I am walking away feeling like, yep, that was a FrostySnoman game, and it had all those points that are why I like FrostySnoman games, why I'm following FrostySnoman games, and like why I always play these the day they come out. So anyway, you know, I'm biased, so that's going to be an issue. So anyway, thank you for watching. My name is Fia Gloss. This was another submission to Scream City. If you enjoyed this, check out the other entries. Link will be in the description. If you enjoyed this game specifically, FrostySnoman has like 3 other games, so give those a playthrough and check them out. I think they're all great. I like them a lot. You could just start from the first one and play the next and play the next. Like, literally, that's how I'd recommend doing it. It's great. So I'm excited to see what, you know, the next, as the preview for the upcoming game. And, you know, I'm still pining for the long form FrostySnoman game. But maybe that's just not how it works. And that's totally cool too. I mean, if I'm going to be getting a game like every other week or one a month, like, fine, don't make a long one. I like having all this new content all the time. So anyway, thank you for watching. I will be back with another one from Scream City, and you know, please check out these entries. A lot of good work. I can't say I have played one that has been really any bit disappointing yet. So check it out. Thank you for watching and have a great night.